Hello everyone, my name is Lewis and welcome to Gathering the Magic. Today we're going to be looking at the top 10 most game-breaking cards in MTG for Commander. Yep, those cards you love to use and your opponents hate to see.
Judge.
Or those cards your opponents use and you die inside a little every time it's played. Now, please do show your love for all things MTG and click that subscribe button below. As per the previous Ikoria Commander list I did, this list is entirely made up of my own opinion. Anything you think is missing? Let me know in the comments. Now, let's get into the list. Sneaking into number 10, we have Omniscience. As you can see from the card, it's an absolute powerhouse. If you manage to get this on the board, then it could be a game changer as well as a game breaker. Play anything without their mana costs. This card is busted. I'd be so annoyed if this was used against me. Imagine if your opponent played this and had cards like Teferi, Mage of Zhalfir, or Archetype of Imagination. You'd be in big trouble fast. As you can see in the corner, price-wise, it'll set you back a bit if you want to add it to your deck. And I was tempted to up Omniscience higher in the list, but something that costs 10 CMC that could be countered or just destroyed by a Demystify ranks it at the number 10 spot. In at number 9 we have the horrifying creature that is Jin Gitaxias. This behemoth essentially cuts your opponent off at the core, giving them the tiniest chance until their cleanup step to find a solution, otherwise they're stuck with a maximum hand size of 0. The thought of having this card out and having a normal maximum hand size, or no maximum hand size if you have a filthy card draw Simic deck like me, and your opponent's having no maximum hand size, they're absolutely screwed and have no options other than to use what they have on the field, or what they could potentially return from the graveyard. You better quickly get a Reliquary Tower in your deck, just to play it safe. Coming in at number 8 we have Prophet of Kruphix, and yes, this card is banned in Commander, but 1. Most people who play Commander just play casually with their friends and do ignore ban lists. And 2, have you seen it? Oh my god, it's just on another level. It's like a Wilderness Reclamation has been on steroids and mated with a ley line of anticipation. You can absolutely see why WotC wielded the ban hammer on this one. Add in the fact at 5 CMC it costs half to cast of the previous 2 entries on this list. I know what I'd think if I saw this being played by my opponent.
I'm in danger!
Literally drooling at the thought of having a card that makes almost everything untap. Each untap step, your opponents would be scared to come at you. Again, low placement here because it is actually a ban card, and you'd hope to think in Commander you'd have an easy way of removing a 2/3 creature. Taking the number 7 spot, we have everyone's favourite one-sided board wipe, and it is Cyclonic Rift. If it was just the initial text, it wouldn't even make the top 1000 in this list, but its overload ability is really what kicks it up a gear or 10. Return each non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand for 7 CMC, worth every penny. Have a card or two like Call to Mind, so you've always got a second chance to bring it back, and you've got your opponents constantly on edge. It's a super pricey card, but with only 2 reprints in Commander 14 and Modern Masters 17, you can see why it is so expensive. Imagine running an Izzet deck and casting Overmaster first. A nice little setup knowing it won't be countered next turn. Devastating combo. I'll absolutely be trying that sometime soon. Well, after someone buys me a Cyclonic Rift, please.
Not in a million years. Absolutely not. No way, Jose. No chance, Lance.
For the number 6 spot on this list, we have Time Stretch. This card speaks for itself, really. Could it be more annoying? For the cheap price of 10 CMC, and I say cheap because you get 2 extra turns out of it. 2 extra turns to untap, draw more cards, get out more creatures, and deal more damage. Any cards that make you have an extra turn I always find annoying. I'm looking at you, Mindslaver, but 2 extra turns? That is absolute madness. Again, play this with something like a Call to Mind, and you've essentially got the game won. Play Time Stretch, fetch it from the graveyard, play it again, stuck in an endless, painful time loop until you've inevitably lost the game. Is anyone else noticing a lot of blue in this list? Getting in the top half of this list at number 5 is Expropriate. A very cool unique card, but again it fits this list perfectly as it's so bloody annoying and game breaking. From the 2016 booster set Conspiracy Take the Crown, it came with a ton of really interesting Council's Dilemma cards, but this one is by far and away the most powerful and just one of the most annoying cards in Magic. Starting with yourself, everyone takes a vote, time or money. Time? Have an extra turn. Money? Take control of someone else's creature. And guess what? Expropriate doesn't target any of the permanents you gain control of. You could choose a permanent with hexproof. For example, if your opponent has an archetype of endurance and they vote money, you can take the archetype and there you go. Now all of your creatures have hexproof. Oh, I am so tempted to buy this card. Just missing out on the podium places at number 4, we have Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger. And I shouldn't have used the word behemoth for Jin-Gitaxias earlier, because this guy really is the one true behemoth. It's got everything you want in a magic creature. Not 1, not 2, but 3 abilities to just make it absolutely game breaking. It's got that trademark green stompy trample, then you've got tap a land for mana, and hey, have a free mana. Gives you so much more to work with for your turn. Then the painful, annoying, awesome third ability of whenever an opponent taps a land for mana, that land doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. I'll tell you what, I think from now on I'm always going to carry a murder with me, just in case.
This better not awaken anything in me.
A sentence I never thought I'd say. Again, it's a card where if you don't deal with it quick, you can soon find yourself all out of mana and all out of options. Taking the bronze medal and the third most annoying and game-breaking card in MTG, we have everyone's most hated land destroyer, Armageddon. Yes, there are other destroy all land cards like Devastation or Obliterate, but those are so expensive to play. Armageddon is so cheap. Imagine knowing you're only a turn away from winning and your opponent whacks Armageddon down, destroying all lands. You're essentially forced to reset, and it'll take a fair few turns before you're able to have enough mana to play to do anything effective. Destroying lands in general in Commander is known as a no-no, so imagine destroying all lands, absolutely devastating. Also, as you can see below, compared to the others on this list, it's actually not that expensive, so you might as well buy some now and really annoy your friends. Runner up and the second most annoying game-breaking card for Commander in Magic the Gathering, we have Winter Orb. Commonly known as one of the most annoying cards in Commander, Winter Orb is frustratingly cheap to play at just 2 mana. Players can't untap more than 1 land a turn. Anything that slows down a game of Commander is frustrating, but this really makes you that little bit more salty. If you have no way of getting rid of this, you suddenly have to be really tactical, either going all out or taking turns using little to no mana so you can build back up. You're almost certainly doomed if your opponent uses a Winter Orb. And coming in at number 1 as the most salty, annoying, game-breaking card we have, it is Stasis. Resisted with every bone in my body not to say prickly marmoset. Yes, what's worse than only being able to untap 1 land per turn? Completely skipping your untap phase altogether. Once again, if this gets on the board and you can't get rid of it, you've only got 1 chance to use everything, then it's staying untapped. 1 chance to attack with a creature, 1 chance to use that mana to get something to dig you out of a hole. This card is utterly game breaking because it eventually makes the game come to a halt, and we all know Commander is nowhere near as fun if you're not allowed to do what you want. So load up your deck with counterspells because you never want to see a card like this come on the board. And that's our list. What did you think? I'm sure I have missed out a few even more game-breaking, annoying cards, so please do let me know what you'd add in the comments below. Whilst you're there, hit that like button and please do subscribe. Help this little MTG channel grow and grow. For now anyway, I'm all tapped out, so I'll see you in the next video.